It's a cycle of yeah, and I see what you're saying. That great about Dave. I mean, with numbers, it's different. I don't know. I don't address anything. You could say the worst things about me that are so wrong. I don't care. I don't want to set your mind straight. It's just a waste of time because anyone that doesn't like you, you're gonna make your statement. It's just so authentic, and then people are still gonna poke holes in your statement. It's just you're wasting your
Well,
time.
you can't chase every rumor, but I think what's brilliant about Portnoy is Dave is
He's
like, I'm
brilliant.
going to control this narrative too. I'm
He's
going to control this.
brilliant.
And when you do that in a confident way, like Portnoy does, I think that and I'll give this to Bethany, right? Bethany ain't nothing she won't comment on. But what it does
Mhm.
is then people aren't certain, right? So like the thing that it is like he's not going to let a Grace or somebody. Fine, you want to go out there and say it? Well, I'm going to tell you my truth and then let everybody decide. I mean, Dave's not in the comments arguing with people who go, "Oh, you're a misogynist." No, it's like he's addressed it and moved on. But I'm a fan of, I think you should control your own narrative, especially nowadays, because there is no form. We are the legitimate form. More people trust us than they do the media. There's no place for people to go and have credibility aside from your own platform, your own voice coming on outlets like ours that'll let you talk for 2 hours and say your side of the story. So that's it. Fascinating
And
interview.
I'm just like,
Wow.
I know my truth. I know
Yeah.
I stand in my truth. And if you have a negative opinion of me or you believe something, you are looking for a reason to believe something negative about me, you just believe it. You just believe it because I know it's not true and I don't need to even waste my time setting that. Go have at it. Well, Kim said, yeah.
Okay, one last thing with Kim I got, and then I got a couple more I want to hit
Oh,
you with.
well, there's more to say about Kim. There's a lot here. I haven't even begun to. You want to hear what Kim said? I mean, honey, I
Oh,
ran
all
into the
right, all right.
corner. I mean, I kind of was paying attention. So she said, well, I don't know what you were going to say. She said that she won't address it. I said, great. She said, a lot of people have, whatever, whatever. And I said, yeah, to be honest with you, if I'm being totally honest, I didn't think you were going to show up here today. I literally said I'm on my way to see Kim, and I didn't think you were going to be here because of these things online that you are an alcoholic and a fallen off the. I was really just putting it out there.
Well,
And
and I
she
the police.
said, yeah, this is what it is. And, look, do I think, I mean, does she talk to Kathy and Kyle? No. She said she doesn't talk to Kyle. And I said, well, what about Kathy? She said, and I quote, Sarah's like, oh no. She said she's too involved in the show now. These were all real. Now, these are comments that are made to me. Um, so I guess Kathy's too involved in the show. She's oh look there. She said some other things, and it's just like I feel bad saying any of this, but we have to talk about it. She's just a kind soul, and I think you know, doesn't seem like she's talked to her children anytime soon, anytime recently. So I really think everyone is
No.
back.
No, you know, I feel for them. I feel for those three sisters, and I don't know. I didn't meet Kath. I didn't meet Kim, so I have no idea. But
Just a kind soul.
I'm sure she is. But it sounds like an addict's response. And one of the things my brothers.
Coming. Can you believe there's someone at my door?
Excuse me. Okay.
Hold on. I'm so sorry. I'm
Well,
so
anyway, I'll
sorry.
finish with this. Obviously, we love Kath. We
I'm
see
coming.
Kath
Hold on.
at Sutton's. We're obsessed with Kath. I wish him all the best.
Mom,
But
I'm
my
coming.
brother's been sober for 14 years in the program. And if you've ever gone to an Al Anon meeting, if you've had an addict in your family, one of the hardest
Oh,
things to accept is that sometimes you may have loved ones that do not
come
want help,
on in.
no matter what you
I'm
do.
on the air, but you can come in.
That's so hard. But
It's okay. You know what was happening?
somebody,
Just in this corner.
I want to talk about when David gets back. I want to talk about
Oh,
James Kennedy and Allie still
can you do
reportedly
whatever
being
you want? Remember,
together
we had that
after
problem
he was
before.
arrested for domestic violence. I want to talk about that.
I'm so sorry.
No, no, no. I was just telling our listeners, I just said, to me, I don't know. I wasn't there. You know better. But my brother is 14 years sober in the program. One of the hardest things you have to learn as a loved one of an addict is sometimes they will drink or drug themselves to death. Like you have to do everything you can be there, not enable them, but you also have to let go and let God. And sometimes that result, the rock bottom is death. And it's really, really hard. But to hear her say that she's not speaking to those individuals who have shown up and done so much for her makes me think,
And I even asked about the kids, and it seemed like she didn't speak to anyone. But
okay,
the kindest, and like, mind you, Kim is one of us. Like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not criticizing. Like, you could see, Kyle has a certain lifestyle. Kathy certainly has a certain lifestyle.
hey now, that's what I want Kathy's.
We all like a lifestyle. I love my Louis, but
Enough.
Kim is just like one of us. There's no like, what's the word? There's no media training. There's no like, what was ever said in a Sprinter van. Am I to might not see the light of day? There's just Kim is like, you ask her a question, she's one of us. And like, I'll post the pictures. Like, just so I love Kim. I've always loved Kim. She did start talking about the past, Brandy this and Rina this. And I'm like, all right, let's live in the present. Like, it's living in the past is always like, I don't know. It's just, but it's nothing. I'm not criticizing. I truly am just giving a interaction because I told you I ran into her and I knew you were going to ask me on air. And I almost feel bad saying this because it was
Well, I
almost
hate
like,
putting you now. I don't want you to be in that
no, I
spot.
mean, it's not like she said, but I just feel like, if someone doesn't really understand behind the velvet robe and they just talk, they don't really know that we're disseminating this information to people. But then you realize it is actually all authentic information. And again, I just want to stress she flew in. So I don't think Kim lives in California, if you want. I think that's what I'm trying to say also.
Okay, I also want to ask you rapid fire. What do you make of this
Sorry.
James Kennedy and Allie still together after him arrested for domestic violence?
I mean, didn't we say all this? Didn't we call this or didn't we? So I mean, I didn't read that article you sent me. Like, what? They're just truly together, right?
Yep, they're still together despite she came out and did a 2025 astrology prediction. I have a lot of astrological friends that, I love a little astrology, but I'm always a skeptic of all this stuff. And the funniest part to me, if you ever met an astrologer, every year is a transition year, every year. Like, I mean, we're
Mhm.
always in a transition period with an astrologer. So, of course, she came out and her predictions for 2025 is, it's going to be a transition year and we're always heading into a new moon. Always the same shit. Anyway, but friends and sources have seen them out together and they are still together despite that abuse. What do you, ugh,
Mm. I
yeah.
know. I know. I mean, again, look, I think nothing is the same as like watching something. So we watch the video with Karen and we're like, wow. But we've read the words. I mean, a man picked her up and put her on the ground, right? We read those words. James did this to somebody. I mean, who else could it be? Right? I mean, so what are, oh, yeah, stuff like that is like, right? I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
this is how people live with men, women, gay on gay, woman on woman. I mean, you could be same sex, you could be intersex, you could be non-bi, whatever it is. We have every combination of this is an abusive relationship. Forget about verbal with what Raquel says she went through. It's like physical. So this is how people
I said
stay.
she was physically abused by James too.
Yeah.
So
It's yeah,
it is
I
sad.
don't know. I mean, I don't you shove me, you shove my sister, you shove a friend of mine. You don't even have to pick them up. You do anything. It's like leave. You have to leave. You got to leave. It's right.
Yeah, it's sad to read, but I have girlfriends that are to this day still with men that put their hands on them and have never done it again.
Mm.
I don't know. Maybe he's getting the help and the treatment that he needs. So I don't know. It's a very tough call for us that are not in those types of relationships. It's so easy to go, if that happened to me, I'm out. But
Hmm.
different ball game when you live in the house and you're invested and you
Oh.
think this is the man of your dreams and you've shot a TV show and I don't know.
Oh, you know what? You know what my prediction is?
What?
Because I made the prediction last. I forgot to tell you this. My prediction the last season about James and about Spencer and Heidi, Dancing with the Stars, both of them. They're going to be given competing. Who's going to? Here's my new prediction:
Disney?
the new host or waitress Sir, filming the new Vanderpump Rules will be starring one of the cast members, Allie Luber, James's girlfriend, soon to be ex. I think she's going to be on the new VPR. I feel it. I feel it. Making a prediction, Sarah. I forgot to tell you about this one. Last season, last episode, we had Spencer and Heidi. When they get that Dancing with the Stars contract, you heard it here first. I think Allie might be on the new Vanderpump Rules.
Ooh, all right. Well, that makes me
Transition. I
okay.
know I said we're not going to go and we don't want a Katie or no, we don't want that, but she could be a real cast member. We don't really know anything about her. I feel it. I feel